Well, Spencer, we're used to Trump being in the headlines, but not on CNBC for a SPAC deal, right?
Right, I guess. Right. Raise your hand if you bought the Trump SPAC today.
Not me. I have not bought it yet, but we're watching it. So if you haven't been, paying attention to anything in the financial news today, Trump is planning on launching his own media company called The Truth, and this is going to go public through a SPAC. The ticker is DWAC. What does that stand for again, Spencer?
What? Digital World Acquisition.
Yep, Digital World Acquisition. Wow.
Okay, 24. Raise your hand if you sold the Trump SPAC. We'll talk all about this. Oh my gosh, $24. I knew I'd live to regret this somehow, some way. Let's start this show. This is crazy.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Benzinga Nation, jam-packed show today. Peloton up 5%.
What's up, disciplined investor?
We got Benzinga CEO Jason Raznick here with us.
The man, the myth, the legend, Tom Nash.
Peter Schiff on the Power Hour with us live today.
Interesting, different, unique, innovative companies.
Nia, you are live with us on the Power Hour. What's up?
Thank you so much for inviting me on.
Jessica Billingsley, that is the CEO of Akerna.
The best trade idea resource out there.
All right. DWAC. I want to know what y'all did. I'll tell you what I did. So first, AB, I screwed this up from the get-go because I decided to do this on a whim, really. And I don't ever recommend trading from your phone. You probably should trade from a desktop or whatever, a laptop or something. Because so what happened was I went into my Webull app on my phone, which is my first mistake, and I wanted to be quick. So I threw it up there and I said, yeah, buy. But I thought I had the market order set as a default because I just wanted to get in, but I had a limit order set, so I didn't pay what I wanted to pay, which is annoying. So I sent the limit order out there, and then I realized what I had done, and I went to cancel it. And before I could even cancel it, I got filled. So I guess in the grand scheme of things, it worked out for me. But so I'll walk you through what happened. So that was at 1343. 1343 is where I got in DWAC. Where's the chart? So this is a 15-minute chart. This is nice. So somewhere in that 15-minute candle, right? Somewhere in that 15-minute candle is when I bought it. And I said on live trading that I'm going to sell when we get our first red 15-minute candle. And when I got the chance, while Tony Benson was on, at someone's suggestion, I threw out a trailing stop order. Now, this is also not great what I did. So I threw out a trailing stop order. It doesn't matter where the stock price was out when I did that because it's going to trail whatever the stock does. So I put I always do percentage, not dollar, as far as what you're trailing by. So I put my trailing stop percentage at I think it was like 15% is what I did, which is a lot, right? Which is kind of a lot to think about. So but I thought I should give myself some breathing room. So I turn away from the screen for a second. I do other things, and I come back, and I see this red candle, right? That the only red candle right today at 11:15, and I saw it, at 11:15 the time, not the price, and I saw it fall through 19, fall through 18, and I thought, oh crap! Like I know my sell stop is like around here somewhere, but I don't want to wait anymore. So I just jumped right in. I jumped myself in the queue basically and sold at 17. What was my price? 1764. I damn near bottom ticked that red candle because the low was 1760. And I got 1764. So that's it for me. I bought at 13. I sold at 17. I'm done. Should I have held? In hindsight, yeah. We're at $24.
So Spencer, something that I think is very kind of interesting with this is it's not typical that you see a SPAC announced like this before the company even
Exists.
exists,
Yeah,
right?
well, yeah. I know.
Do we have a historical case where we've seen something like this?
Not that I can think of. We were talking to Chris Catcher earlier, and here's what he said. He said that so during the show, I downloaded the app because I thought, oh, let me at least get on the app, but I couldn't. I don't even know. I downloaded it in the App Store, and I don't even know where it is now. So the beta launch is only available to some people. Apparently, it's going to happen next month, and then a nationwide rollout is expected like February. So we don't even have a product or anything. And the SPAC is up 143% today.
I saw that some people found like a leaked link where you were able to create an account on the Truth app before it even existed, or before, last night people were making accounts and stuff on there. Even Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter, tweeted about it. So I don't know. I mean, this is one of those trades that I feel like now, regardless of like what side of the political spectrum you're on or whatever, there's like momentum behind this. People are talking about it, so people are hopping in. But yeah, we haven't seen a SPAC move like this in a while.
No, I think it's probably been like a year since we've seen a SPAC move like this. And just when you thought SPACs, were out of favor, no. We come back. So in the chat, tell us if you're also, I know a few of you were in this with me. And I want to know what your deal is. Are you still in? Are you like me and you're out? Do you regret not buying it this morning? You know what's crazy here? One second. I'm just tweeting out, the link to the show. You know what's crazy is we have the chart up. Yeah. Look at the pre-market session. Okay. This was brutal because somebody bought this thing. Someone paid $20 for this thing last night. And then for the rest of the afternoon and even, this morning, this thing got down. It was still trading above par. It was trading above 10. It was, I think the low was 10.32, but this thing was basically went straight down all morning until like 7:30. And at 7:30 we bottomed, and it was just a tale of two different mornings. Lisa Lay says she's in DWAC. Christopher Anthony says going to the moon. Yeah. And then this thing didn't have a red candle from 7:30 to 11:15 or 11:30 because that's when that ended. So 4 hours of not a single red 15-minute candle.
Lisa Lee Hunt in the chat saying she's in. Yeah. Good trade there. She said she's staying in. Let us know if you have a price target, Lisa, if you're in this for the long haul. Shay, Spencer might be able to read this. It's been a minute for me, so.
Don't assume I can read Hebrew because my last name. I can't read that. I don't know what that means. Sorry, Shay.
When I was getting ready for my bar mitzvah, maybe I would have been a better.
I can't read that. This is just madness. And look at the volume, everyone. How many shares have we traded today? 12 million shares. 12 million shares. No, not 12. That's just this. Is that just this candle? That's just this candle. Oh my goodness.
Hunter Raines was right there with you, Spencer. He sold at
148 million shares have traded today. Hunter Raines says what?
He was right there with you. He sold at around the same price, but he says he feels like a moron. Hey, look, as long as you were green in the trade, you can't go broke taking profits. So, Stephen Howell saying my PDT will keep me holding at least a day. Been there. I was there yesterday. I have a day trade I could make today now. But real quick, Spencer, I want to stay with DWAC, but let's just get to a couple other things in the chat real quick.
Wait, hold on. I'm being corrected. 253 million. Maybe that includes the pre-market as well. So I was
we'll get back to DWAC, but I'm going to pull up my Benzinga Pro real quick.
Okay.
Someone's asking about Apple. So I
Yeah.
see on the chart, Apple just had a big drop. Let's see if we have any news here at kind of driving. Bloomberg reporter tweets Google is lowering its cut from all subscriptions on Google Pay. I don't know. I don't think that would. Okay, here we go. Apple shares move lower following report Google to lower its cuts from all subscriptions on Google Play from 30% to 15%. So I'll have to read more into this, but it looks like something that Google's doing with their Google Play, which would have an impact on App Store revenue, I guess, from Apple products. It is driving Apple stock lower. It was trading right about 149 and then dropped all the way down to 148. So not a huge move, but it is atypical to kind of see this big drop in Apple without some big news. And someone else was asking about a different chat. Oh, Bumble.
Bumble. I looked at Bumble stock in forever.
Bumble up 7%. Let's see what we got news. The same Google Play. Is that?
Well, yeah, because the headline would affect theoretically any app in the App Store, right? In theory. So wait, can you read that again? What exactly was the headline? Because I didn't get it the first time.
All right, I'm pulling up the tweet. So
Google is going to lower its cut from all subscriptions on the Google Play Store. Okay. So
okay. So what Google's trying to do is entice apps to come to the Google Play Store from the App Store. So maybe this Bumble thing is saying, hey, if Bumble has subscriptions on Google Play, they start focusing on that instead of the Apple subscriptions, then they'll get a better cut. But I just don't know why Bumble would be up 7% off that news. It makes sense why Apple's down off of it, but I don't know why Bumble would be up 7% from it unless it's just because they're going to be getting a bigger cut from Google. But I can't imagine that Bumble has that many Google Play subscriptions compared to Apple.
Google is low. I'll read to the tweet. Google is lowering its cut from all subscriptions on Google Play to 15% from 30% from day one. The reduction previously only took effect on the first $1 million in revenue and for users who were subscribed for longer than a year. So yeah, just Google undercutting Apple on price, basically.
So essentially any of these apps, so Match.com is also at 5%. They have apps for Androids and for iPhones. So now every Android app subscription that they have, the company will be getting a bigger cut from. To me, it just seems like Google is making this move to try to force companies to say, hey, maybe we should, put some more focus and energy into our Android app because we're going to make more money that way than the Apple app. Maybe Apple will follow suit and take a cut from its. We had the Apple lawsuit from Epic Games kind of along the same things where Apple was requiring customers to subscribe through Apple to take a pay cut. So they were not allowing customers to start a subscription straight through, say, Epic Games or whatever the company is. So we saw Apple trade lower earlier in the year based on that news. But all right.
Wait, I'm sorry. This is all fine and interesting, but this is the only thing that matters today. This and Tesla, I think.
Right.
But what's Tesla at? Tesla's at we're okay. Tesla, we just got to 900, and that was the top 900 on the button, 900.00. But DWAC, come on, this is the only thing that matters out there. We just got to 26.
We had a couple of volatility halts, correct?
Did we? I didn't notice. I haven't been looking all the time.
I don't know. Look at Benzinga Pro.
Here, let's go into my signals tool. We'll add a filter. We'll look for DWAC. No, I only want one kind of filter, and that's halts. All right, we had one volatility halt at 11:56.
Wait, what? Look, it says trading halted at. Oh, that was that was back in September.
Yeah, that was when the SPAC IPO. I don't know what the hell happened with that. That was when the SPAC itself had here. Let's go to the daily. I have no idea what this is. I mean, maybe like when the SPAC IPO'd someone somewhere new, that this was going to eventually be the Trump's thing, but like this makes absolutely no sense unless it was just inside information, which is always possible. This at least makes a little bit more sense because you have a news event. This makes no sense at all.
You're saying the halt back a month ago didn't make any sense?
No, the entire candle a month ago makes no sense.
Okay.
This entire candle makes no
who knows?
sense.
Maybe it got leaked among some people that, hey, this, is rumor or going to be Trump's thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this, do they have a timeline as far as when Truth is supposed to launch?
Yeah, I said November is beta, February or Q1 for everyone else.
So one of these things to me, Spencer, I think it's actually interesting because obviously you have, people that love Trump that are going to go sign up for accounts on here. But I think just the controversy out of it, like this is going to be in all the headlines. And I think that's always, it can be a good thing for stocks to just be in the headlines, even if there is controversy surrounding it. I mean, we see it with Tesla all the time, how polarizing Tesla is. But at the end of the day, and there will probably be people that come in and try to short this too.
Yeah, I'm just curious what like I kind of want to pull up the time and sales because I'm just curious what like I'm just curious like what like the bid sizes are right now. Because that might tell us like a little bit about who's buying this thing. All right, time and sales or even just like a price ladder, right? So okay, I've got time and sales up open in Thinkorswim. So we've got 40 shares, 36 shares, 2 shares, 12 shares, 56, 5, 28, 35. A lot of really small orders, like a lot. And so, there you see a bunch of 100 orders. So, this is just retail. I think that's all this is just retail enthusiasm. I don't know how, and bots, retail enthusiasm and bots. Because you get to this time of the day, it's all bots anyway. But, see, look, it's happening again. On the chart. Okay, this is what exactly. Do we just halt? We just halted.
We're halted on the downside now.
I think so.
Jay Rice says he knows a bunch of people that have already signed up. So is the beta link out there now that we can sign up, or is it only?
I don't know. I went to the app store and downloaded the app, and then I don't even know where the hell it went. But we just halted on the downside. So this is what spooked me out the last time. This is where I'm glad I'm out. Okay, I would be sweating bullets right now because this is always a trade. This was never an investment. This was always a trade. I personally think that this in 5 months or less, 4 months, we're all going to forget about this. Is what I think. But regardless, if you're in it for a trade and you're still in it, now you're stuck in a halt. This thing could open at 30, or it could open at like 15.
See, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna forget about it because there'll be news catalysts going forward, right?
No. We don't even have a product yet. They have to actually launch a business. That ain't easy, man. Like, it's not a given that this thing even launches. Okay, it's not. Like, so far all we have right now is a headline that this publicly traded SPAC is going to acquire this social media company that doesn't exist yet. They can also come out and say a month from now, oh, never mind. They can do that. They can say, never mind. They can say, no, we changed our mind. We're not going to, it's not going to happen. They can.
We got some funny comments in the chat. Apparently it's all over. This stock is all over Wall Street bets right now.
I'm sure. It's the biggest meme there is.
Someone's asking about Square. Let's see what's going on with Square.
Who cares about Square right now? No offense, but
up 3%. Let's see. I don't see any news as to why Square's up 3%.
Square might be trading. It's up 3%.
Yeah,
it's probably trading in sympathy with PayPal, which is getting crushed today. Sell PayPal, buy Square.
I think the PayPal thing's really interesting because they announced that they were in late stage talks to purchase Pinterest. Pinterest traded up yesterday about 13% on the news, while PayPal traded down. Do you think PayPal is going to reconsider this deal, saying like, "Hey, look, this is how the market's reacting"? To me, it could be one of those like trial balloon things where they throw something out there, see how the market and world reacts, and they're saying, "Hey, investors are hating this move by us to potentially purchase Pinterest." Maybe they back out of the deals. People are also saying there could become a bidding war for Pinterest. I don't know. I mean, I don't really see the fit for PayPal to buy Pinterest in the first place. But to me, if I were in charge of PayPal, I'd see the stock movement the past couple of days and say, "Hey, look, the markets have made up their mind. They're showing that they do not like this move." But I don't know. I think either way, two huge companies. If the
Okay, wait a minute. Let's go back to the. So we're about to come out of this halt. The halt happened at 12:19, 52 seconds. So we're gonna come out. What time is it now? We're gonna come out of this halt in less than a minute, I think. So let's go to a 1 minute chart here. We're gonna come out of this halt in like about a minute. So let's have this on the screen when that happens. I see some synergies. They're both e-commerce, but I mean, Affirm is doing Affirm thing. Square is buying Afterpay. They're both doing buy now, pay later, and PayPal is buying an e-commerce play. It's a little bit of a different angle, but we'll see. All right, watching for us to come out of the halt. Daniel F. DWAC made your month. That's awesome. Congratulations. That is awesome. It did not make my month. I was trading with a very small account, so it did not make my month, unfortunately. But we should be coming out of this halt any second.
Damon brings up a good point in the chat. He's saying, wouldn't owning a media outlet be a conflict of interest if he were to run again for presidency?
Yes. Damon, that is just one of many questions we have.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this is him saying, like, look, he's going to do other things, other business ventures, and not, try to run again. Who knows?
I don't know. There are people that think he's still the president. There we go. Okay, we're open. All right, that was a relatively painless open, actually. We opened right there. All right, cool. You never know what these halts where they're going to open. You can really get screwed if you're not careful. Did that stop Bloomberg? You're right. That's a good point, Daniel.
I think
I would imagine he would have had to sell his company if he actually won.
If not sell, I think like completely step away from any operations.
Well, he already is. I mean, he already has stepped away. He stepped away a long time ago. But yeah, I mean, he would probably have to sell his company if he actually was the president. But that we never got down that road. But it's a good point. It's a good point.
All right, so we got DWAC coming back up now. It looks like people are coming in buying right now. We'll see if it gets back up to what are the highs we hit earlier on 27,
26 something,
26 something,
2680, 2680. This is really wild stuff.
I mean, just when you thought we've seen it all in the markets this year between GME, AMC. Let's check in on those, Spencer, because I wonder if.
Yeah, you know what? I looked at those for like a second this morning because I thought, oh, today just might be a meme stock day, and they were trending a little bit higher, but that was hours ago that I looked. How are we doing now? Yeah,
no, pretty flat.
Yeah, we reversed in GameStop. How's AMC? Same chart today. They both reversed.
I wonder if there are people that have like never traded stocks before that see this Trump thing and go and
yes.
want to be
Yes, I think that is correct.
Yep.
I would just, man, I hope everyone that's in this has some kind of a target because everyone is up. All right, everyone is up in this thing. I hope if you're in it that you have some kind of a target on the downside, whether it's like 20 or 15 or lower. Like at some point, think about ringing the register is all I'll say. You know, everyone do what's best for you. Obviously, I rang the register. You know, I'm not going to complain about making money. If I hadn't sold, I would have been out more, but that's how it goes. This kind of a run, though, we can all agree that this kind of a run is not sustainable, right? Even if you think that this is going to be like the best company ever, this kind of silliness, which is what this is today, is silliness, is not. Stocks that can go up 150% can just as easily go down 150%, or not 150, 100%, 90%, 80%, right? Stocks that this thing opened today, what, 10 something, 12 something? We opened at 12 and we're at 25. This thing can go back to 12, no problem. No problem. All it takes is for some freaking algo to turn on and start selling. And that triggers everyone else, right? I mean, this is a silly move. It's great for everyone that's made money. That's awesome if it's made your month. It made my day. Didn't make my month. It made my day. But this kind of moves are not sustainable. These are the kind of moves we saw last year. We saw these exact kind of things last year, and with what was that? What was that SPAC? Lucid, right? The Lucid Motors, LCID. I don't know if this chart will go back and
what's
show.
been going on with Lucid recently?
I mean, look, this is all before the merger even happened. Somebody paid $60 for Lucid. I would just please be cautious here, is all I'm saying. Lucid's been quiet. Stopped going down at least, which is something. But Easy Mike is donating his 20s. Oh yeah, you know Roy's been all over this. I should have bought the warrants. That was my first mistake actually, with not buying the warrants. Here. We don't have the chart in Pro. Come on, guys. All right. Well, take my word for it. WAC. Take my word for it, or take Roy's word for it. The warrants are up insane today.
So I know, Spencer, you said that this is all the only news today, all anyone cares about, but we did have other news with Pfizer and BioNTech. The companies Pfizer and BioNTech put out a release, I believe either this morning or yesterday afternoon, saying that their booster shot had an efficacy of 95.6%. So what they did is they had a trial of over 10,000 participants. All were fully vaccinated. So had previously gotten 2 shots of the Pfizer vaccine. And then about half of these participants got the booster shot. About half got a placebo shot. And they found, essentially the ones that got the booster shot, nobody in that study, I think 5 people out of like 5,000. So like 1 in 1,000 ended up getting COVID. Versus I think a couple hundred participants that got the placebo ended up getting COVID. So good news there for BioNTech. The stock is trading up about 5%. So now I think we're going to see like the FDA and other people come in and start recommending these booster shots a little bit more. So, if you're vaccinated and still worried about catching COVID, then these booster shots may help. But either way, BioNTech, ticker BNTX, trading up 5% on that news. Pfizer actually trading lower, about 0.5%. So that's interesting there. I would have expected Pfizer to be up on that news, but BioNTech, the real winner today.
Hey, we should probably, tease out who our guests are going to be today. So we're going to have Options Mike join us right now for a few minutes. And then we're going to have at 12:45, Thomas Kim is the CEO of Enfusion. The stock IPO today, ENFN. After Thomas, we'll have Simba
Cowboy.
Stocks? Oh, Cowboy. Right. We'll have Cowboy on.
Simba Bets.
Excuse me. And then Neal Hamilton, the man with the mane.
He still works here?
He does still work here. Neal Hamilton will be on in an hour from now at 1:30 to give us his charts and do all that fun stuff. So let's see if Options Mike is participating in this madness today. I wonder. Let's ask him. Options.
Well,
Mike.
I don't think you can trade options on DWAC yet. So,
well, I don't know if he only trades options. Do you only trade options?
No, I traded stock on Tesla today.
See, that's what I'm saying.
How are you guys?
Good. How are you
Good,
doing,
Mike.
man?
How are you?
Good. I didn't touch DWAC. I thought about it pre-market, thought about it again, then said NFW.
Yeah.
And now I just looked up and I see it's 2680. I'm like, oh, well, a little bit of madness.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Like I saw a tweet from a guy that I respect a lot on Twitter, and he was like, "This DWAC thing doesn't seem like it's moving on fundamentals. What? There are no fundamentals. What? There's nothing.
The company doesn't exist yet.
The company doesn't exist yet."
Well, I said to my members, and everybody, listen, leave politics aside. Whether you support Trump, don't support him, it's irrelevant. I said, I don't think there's even a business plan yet, right? This is just, we're going to have a social media app. It's going to be huge. It's going to be bigly. It's going to, it's going to take over Twitter. It's going to take over Facebook. But so it's on all massive speculation, which is great. But you trade it, you don't own it, and you do not want to get trapped in something like this.
Thank you. You trade it, you don't own it. That's it. You trade it, you don't own it. Yep.
Yeah.
Mike, have you been trading any options this week as earnings kind of ramp back up?
I tend not to trade names that have earnings. I trade them afterwards with stock or the next day. I was trading some Apple earlier this week, and Walmart. Walmart took me for a little bit of a ride on that nice upgrade from Goldman Sachs. I thought that would get it going, and of course it sold off. I can put my screen on. It's up to you.
Oh yeah, you can go ahead and pull it up. I was going to pull up Walmart's chart right here, but if you want to go ahead and pull yours up. I don't know what it is. I feel like the analyst ratings have been having less and less effect on the stock price. I mean, there's only a couple, I think, like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan. There's a couple big names that if they make a big move, they will. But if it's like, I'm trying to think of another like smaller bank that puts out Jefferies or something. It's like a lot of times I feel like they don't end up having an impact on the stock price.
Yeah, I mean, well, they added them too. It wasn't just an upgrade; it was a big upgrade for Walmart. It was something I've been waiting for, and I've been watching the stock. And I did something I characteristically don't do. I chased it in the opening 5 minutes. Usually, I give a name 5 minutes to set up, make sure the gap up holds. And it was up for about 15 cents for about a minute, and then it yanked and hit my stop and took me out for a 50% loss. It happens. Everybody thinks every trade's a winner. Every trade is not a winner. But I made up for it in other areas on the day. But, that was just a rough one there for what it's worth. And, here it is higher now, but, it just wasn't trading well.
Yeah, I think Walmart's actually really interesting. Obviously, like we're talking about more of as a trade right now, but I've been contemplating adding it to my long-term portfolio because what Walmart's doing right now is they're spending a lot of money on their Walmart Plus kind of online shopping, grocery delivery. So what they're trying to do is they're really trying to cut into Amazon's market share. And I think as we see, especially in, mid-America, as we see more and more kind of animosity grow for Amazon, Amazon is putting out XYZ small businesses. I mean, Walmart used to get that hate that Walmart is the one putting out small businesses. Now it's going toward Amazon. And I think Walmart can kind of be this like figure where it's like, oh yeah, like I'd rather buy from Walmart than Amazon, even though Walmart's obviously still a huge conglomerate. I like that Walmart's kind of trying to cut into Amazon's market share.
Yeah, they are. And they're really building their online presence, which is just a huge help for them right now. They don't just have the physical stores, they have the big online presence that they're moving along. But honestly, Walmart's been lagging. And if you look at who's been raging in the retail sector, it's been Costco. I mean, this stock just, pulled back briefly. And here it is at a new all-time high again today. There's just no quit in this name. And, everybody's talking about supply chain issues. But the one thing I see going on is all these retailers are not discounting stuff. They're selling things at full cost right now because they can get it, or even charging even more money. So while there might be shortages of stuff, they're not having to discount, so their profits are up. That's a good thing.
All right, I sorry to jack your screen share, but DWAC just hit new highs. Of course it did.
97. This thing is going to 30. This is going to 30.
Came out of the hall. Going to 30, Spence. This could hit. I'm not going to throw a price target out there. I'm not going to put a ceiling on this right now. What we've seen happen this year in the past year with different stocks, I'm not going to put a price target on this or a ceiling of what I think it will stop at. The volume now I'm seeing in the chat is approaching 300 million. So just a crazy amount of shares traded.
It's a SPAC. It's nuts.
I know there's no company. The company doesn't exist like we talked about. I mean, there's People are calling for $50 price targets out there in the chat.
You know what's crazy is like Apple is usually like the most traded stock on any given day, on like a normal day, and Apple trades like 70 million shares a day, like on average, right? Somewhere in the 70 million ballpark. And you said we're at 280 million shares in DWC. What is the float here?
It's small.
I guess I can go look at the filing.
It's small. I think the float is just tiny.
Couple million, 5 million. I mean,
it's nothing special.
Yes, Jay Rice, that 4 a.m. buyer at 22 is in the green. Congratulations. If you were the person that woke up this morning and bought DWAC at 4 a.m. and held it this entire time, you made your money.
And more. I mean, $5 on a $22 trade is like 25%. Not bad for a little day trade.
Right.
Looks like we just hit $28. Came back down. Can we get it up? We're above 28. 28.20. Are we going to 30? We will see. But sorry, Mike. So
let's
we talked
about
about
Vodafone. VOD.
VOD.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say if the numbers in the chat are right, every share of this stock is changed hands 10 times today.
Yep. Basically.
Oh my God. All right. So why are we looking at Vodafone?
Because
right now,
I haven't seen action this name in forever. And then today, out of nowhere, they started hitting the April 17 calls with small sweeps. And then all of a sudden we got this massive order that came into it, and 48,000 of them. And there, the first thing I always do when you see an order like this, and we're not all just about options flow. We look at it. 48,000 of them came in. There's no block. It wasn't tied to stock. It's clean. Something weird. Somebody's looking for something here with that kind of order. And that's a long-term bet on them, betting that they know something that's going on with Vodafone. And so we'd always talk about different types of flow, right? We've talked about it on our show in the past where you have momentum flow like NVIDIA today and Tesla and AMD. This is unusual type flow that if you like to play the unusual stuff, this is something you would take yourself a look at and say, yeah, the chart's ugly, but that's somebody that's loading up for something big and getting plenty of time.
This is a name that is not super liquid
Nope.
Not a name that is on most people's radars for sure.
It's not. That's what draws attention to it in a strange way on a day like today, where it just jumps out. It just was so big, and they started hitting, some closer to the money calls and further up in time, and it stands out as unusual. And this is, again, Vodafone was part with Verizon. Verizon then bought the rest of them back, right? And they haven't done anything since then.
Right. Isn't Vodafone's primary market not the U.S.?
Right, it's Europe.
It's Europe. Right. Yeah, Shelly said the last time she heard of Vodafone was in 2008.
I agree.
So Mike, I like that you're basically saying, look, I don't trade just based on the option flows when you see an unusual option activity, a big buyer coming in, but that's something that can kind of spark your interest and say, hey, let me look at this. Like, what's going on here, and seeing if you can find a reason why maybe someone's doing that. So you're saying you don't essentially go in there and just tail someone that's making one of these big moves, but when you see something like that, it's worth looking into.
I note it, and sometimes maybe take a flyer, put a couple out there, and let them sit for a little bit and see if some news comes along, and you catch the news on it, right? You never know with something like this. This was unusual. They bought a lot of time. They didn't go with weeklies or monthlies or this year. They went all the way out to April. So they're buying plenty of time to push this forward. So, again, if you like the idea of the setup, it's an unusual one. It's something I would definitely keep my eyes on. And I'll give you another one today, since we're here, is Didi, D-I-D-I.
Yeah, this was one that we saw got absolutely beaten down when all the Chinese stocks were getting crushed, about, it seems like yesterday, but that was like 2 months ago. Now these Chinese names a lot of them have kind of like stabilized or even started coming back up. So Didi went public back in summer, got all the way up to $18, came all the way down to, what is that, $7 flat, it looks like. And then, got some bounce and then came back down. And now we're at about $10. So if you got in at $7, if you bottom picked there, you're looking good, but up 10% today. So you're saying this is moving off option flow? Right.
We've seen it. So a couple of days ago, we started seeing flow in Didi. And then today they started coming after it right on the open with a lot of short-term stuff, weeklies, 10s, 950s, stuff like that. But then you got some big orders coming in. And this is where it starts to get interesting, because you got November 12s and 11s. coming in, and these are the sizes of 4,600 blocks of them coming in, sweeps and blocks coming in. So you got some big flow getting now. Remember, the story behind this name was they went public, and as soon as they went public, a couple days later, China came in and they shut them down and said, you're sharing too much data, this and that. We're going to put it on. In fact, there was talk that they were going to have to be delisted, but that, it's very hard to delist a company a couple days after they go public. But bottom line, this is the Uber of China, and worth keeping your eye on this flow as somebody's betting that the bottom is in and the worst is over and it's going to start rebounding.
So yeah, I think it's a very interesting thesis. Like Uber of China, there's obviously more people in China, bigger market, and the stock has been so cheap that it's to me, if you're looking at it for more like a long-term thing, it could be worth throwing a few bucks into DD, saying, hey, look, this could be a $30-$40 stock somewhere down the line, currently trading at $10. But I was always on the sideline, of course, with all the China news going on.
Right.
I've been trading Baba a lot because that's one that I just think got wildly oversold and was completely undervalued based on when you compare Baba's price to sales compared to other big tech stocks like Amazon, Shopify, whatever. Every indicator was just saying, hey, look, this is way oversold, way undervalued right now. And Baba's made a nice move up the past month or so from 140 to 177. So definitely time to keep our eye on some of these Chinese names to see if they keep trending in the right direction.
Yep, and just realize you're playing with China names, right? So, I'm very hesitant like you are on China names as well. But again, it stands out today, And a day like today where the market's kind of a little wishy-washy, and by the way, just to share, one thing I told my members is we've just run too far too fast in this market, and it just needs a little rest. A couple inside days here would be great, and I really do think we're going to all-time highs on the markets. Earnings so far have been great, but this stands out because it wasn't just momentum flow. Like today, the momentum flow was in Tesla, it was in Nvidia. Those two names have had massive amounts of flow into them today, and again yesterday. Momentum. Obviously, Tesla had the catalyst with earnings. To me, Nvidia looks like it wants all-time highs. That 230 area just looks like it's just right there. I've been sitting at AMD since 101, and I think that one wants its all-time high as well. And that has earnings on Tuesday.
Yeah, Nvidia, I'll say it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. One of my favorite kind of long-term stocks. I don't really trade options on it a lot because the premiums are so expensive. But look, so Nvidia came back up to its previous all-time highs, and if we compare that to SPY's chart right here at the very end, they're pretty. Let me take this off.
Pretty close.
Yeah, so SPY came right back up to its previous all-time highs right here, and yeah, a lot of people once we were in this downtrend for a couple of weeks, were like, oh my god, this market's coming back down. To people were calling for SPY to come back down here to 420 levels. And what do you know? Yesterday we closed, I think, right at the previous all-time highs.
We're about three handles off of it.
Right below it. So yeah, Spencer and I have talked about this before, that we think even while this was going on, while this downtrend was going on, that we thought we would see more all-time highs before the end of the year. So it looks like if we get some more momentum in the market, that could happen today.
If you look at last Wednesday's candle, that's when everything changed for me. That's when I got bullish on the market again. And
you said which candle?
Last Wednesday's. And that's that green candle after the 3 red down. That's that hammer candle.
Right
that
here.
Reversal, right? Where the last couple of days we closed on the lows, we looked weak. And what did we do on that day? We opened high, we pushed all the way down, and we came back. And that was a change in character for the market. And then what did we do? We gapped up, trapping everybody short, squeezed the hell out of them, gapped up a second time, squeezed them again. And look at all the gaps we've left through this now. We basically just powered our way up. They caught everybody sleeping.
Yeah, and for guys like you and I, Mike, that trade options, it's nice to have this volatility back in the market,
Yeah.
Options, Mike. Thanks a lot for coming on the show today. We appreciate your time.
Guys, thanks for having me on. Hope to be back soon.
Yeah,
right.
we'll get you back on next week.
Definitely. Oh, sorry to cut you off there. We have to transition here. We have our next guest here. Thomas Kim is backstage. Let's get him on. He's the CEO of Enfusion. He's also having a really, really good day. Their IPO was today. They're opened. Let's bring Thomas on here. Thomas Kim, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
So Enfusion, I was reading about the company. your fintech is the broader way of putting it, but you're basically the SaaS provider, software as a service provider to the financial services industry, providing back office, front office types of things. Tell us about the company. You're relatively new to the company yourself, so tell us about the company and sort of how you got there.
Sure. So we are a global cloud native SaaS fintech firm. We offer software solutions to the investment management industry at large across the alternative investment management group as well as the institutional. And we deliver everything from portfolio management to trading to accounting and middle and back office software and services.
I'm wondering what your business has been like in the last year and a half, obviously, right? Since everyone had a transition to working from home and then back and forth, basically. I'm just wondering what you've seen as far as growth in the business during the pandemic, because I would imagine software provider provide cloud-based services to the investment banking industry. I would imagine there's demand for a service like yours.
Very much so. And so what we saw wasn't anything particularly different in the sense that we've been profitable. We continue to be profitable. We've been organically hyper growth. We continue to be organically hyper growth. If anything, the global pandemic, as horrible to humanity, it was an eye opener for the investment management industry as they try and look at how poorly their operations are constructed and require rewiring. And so much of what we are doing with our operating system that we make available to investment management firms is to help them rethink about what that operating system should look like and rewire their infrastructure and their operations so that they're enabled to grow effectively and efficiently. And so we continue to see great growth, and we're really excited about the relationships that we're forging with the investment management community.
One thing that I'm thinking about is your clients. You run the gamut, you run the spectrum in terms of size, right? But I would assume that the biggest banks would want to build as much as they can in-house rather than outsource to a company like Enfusion. So what is your relationship like with the biggest investment banks? Because in that regard, are they your clients or what?
They are our clients. And
Okay.
I think that gone are the days where people feel like firms, big firms, medium or small, feel like they have to build things themselves at the core that don't necessarily differentiate themselves in terms of their strategies and their goals. And so what we're trying to do and have been doing successfully is giving people the ability to have that operating system and an API that they can build proprietary things on top of. And so I don't think that large organizations would prefer to build things from scratch. I think they have historically only done that because they've not had any other options. Now they have options, and I think they're leaning into what those options, particularly options that are built natively in the cloud, can really do to help them navigate through their inefficiencies.
I've also been trying to think about who your biggest competitors are. Are we talking about like a Salesforce, or are we talking like a other financial specific company?
Listen, in the space that we're in, we're unique in the sense that in our operating system, our software is designed natively for the cloud. It's delivered on a multi-tenant basis, and it's all tethered into one single database. And so everything from the front office portfolio management system to accounting to trading and middle and back office is the construct of what we're delivering. When you look at it from that perspective, there's really not very many people who can deliver that in that way, and we're the only ones who are doing it at the level where we're doing it natively on the cloud and on a multi-tenant basis, all in one system. And so we're really in a good place.
So I'm looking at the S1 right now. You've got 635 global clients, 266 of which you've signed since January of last year. You know, at Benzinga, we know firsthand that the sales cycles of dealing with these financial firms can be a pain and take a long time. I'm just wondering what your experience is in that area.
We're flipping it upside down. And so being
Explain.
cloud native, we're able to implement clients at a fraction of the time. And that's the reason why the adoptions that you're seeing are so amazing. And so cloud native gives you that opportunity, and you really can't fake it in terms of trying to lean into it with legacy systems.
Right. But these banks, maybe this is a stereotype, but they do move. They can move slow, right? They can move slow.
Yeah, and so I think the issue now is that there's a deep-rooted fundamental problem that they're trying to solve for, which is profitability. As their assets under management grow, their profitability is not growing alongside of it. The main reason why that's the case has less to do with performance in most instances. It has more to do with the operating cost ballooning out of proportion. And so we're at an inflection point where everyone's interests are aligned to basically move fast to resolve their infrastructures so that it is efficient and cost efficient. And so they have an interest to go ahead and make those changes as quickly as possible, which is making them move faster.
What is your largest business segment in terms of who your users are, who your clients are?
So currently today, the biggest segment that we cater to is the alternative investment management landscape.
Okay.
And so that's the biggest portion of our business today.
So that would mean any company that is providing access to anyone, right?
Well, think of it this way: the alternative investment
security.
The alternative investment management community is the hedge funds, private equity, private credit, family offices, corporates, and then the institutions are the traditional asset managers, asset owners, and so we cater to both segments. But the largest segment is within that alternative segment.
And then I know you have a global reach, but can you speak a little bit more to that as far as where your clients are and U.S. versus global?
Yes, and so we're a global firm, and 34% of our business comes from international. As our institutional segments continue to grow, we expect that the global outcomes in terms of our client mix will continue to increase internationally.
What was behind the decision to IPO right now?
Well, we were looking at doing an IPO and a public listing to help support our growth and to accelerate it. As I said earlier, we're profitable, we're hyper growth, and we want to continue with that. And many of the folks that are potential investors and who have invested in us are potential clients. And so doing an IPO was a wonderful way for us to get meaningful discussions going on in an accelerated fashion with a set of folks that we believe we can be greatly impactful to.
What is the biggest risk factor to a company like Enfusion?
Well, right now we're focused on just our growth and making sure that alongside of that growth, we're delivering the best client experience that our clients require. And so the biggest risk that I would say that I'm oftentimes staring at is how do we continue to maintain a high set of bars associated with making sure that our clients are getting the kind of experience that they deserve. And so we're focused on that, and we're going to keep investing to make sure that we're delivering on that level.
Thomas Kim is the CEO of Enfusion. Company IPO'd today on the NYSE. There is the chart. There is the ticker, ENFN. Andy White, rewind the tape. We talked about competitors a little bit, but again, off the top of my head, I can't really think of any like big names that are specific to your industry, but that are also SaaS in their nature. So in that regard, you seem to be operating at a pretty good intersection. I guess the last question I'll have for you is like, are there thoughts of right now? You guys were in financial services and fintech, or are there thoughts of maybe down the road expanding to any other industry? Theoretically, if you can tackle financial services and investment banking, you should be able to tackle anything else.
Sure. Relative to what we're focused to, as I sort of mentioned earlier, is we're focused on our clients. We're focused on the investment management community. We're going to continue to deliver great products and services to them. And then we'll figure out what the future has in store for us.
That was a very politically correct answer. You've been well trained, sir. Thomas Kim is the CEO of ENFN. Give your IR or PR person a pat on the back for that. Thanks a lot, sir. Congratulations on the IPO and good luck to you.
Thanks so much. Take care.
All right. That was Thomas Kim. Oh, Andy Y. That was a question for me. Sorry about that. No. I asked him, Andy. I asked him. He sort of. Yeah, he sort of answered that they have some competitors, but no one really in the public markets that really came about. So ENFN IPO, we're trying to get more IPOs on the show, right? We just spent a half hour talking about SPACs because it's the story of the day. But IPOs are fun, they're exciting, they're new. You'll be seeing more IPOs on this channel, on this channel in the coming days and weeks. So thanks to Thomas Kim for joining us today. You know, on a day like today, when a company IPOs, they're in like a media car wash, right? They're just like ripping through these things. They're doing it's like a full day of press and hype. So thanks to Thomas for taking time out today to speak with us. It's 12:58. We are going to have our next guest here on in like a minute or two. So I see Cowboy backstage. Easy Mike, you're looking at PayPal? Did we stop going down yet? Oh. Yes, we did. Let's pull up PayPal. We stopped going down. Finally. Look at this green candle. Hey. Good to see you, PayPal. Welcome. This makes no sense to me. Especially when the news was out yesterday. I don't quite understand this. Christian, yes, Christian, I sold at 1760 something, 1764. I'm out. We got our first red candle right there, and for that reason, I sold. We're at $28. I sold $9 ago. What a ridiculous time. AB, where'd you go, man? Oh, you stepped away to, I don't know, do something. We got Cowboy backstage. Cowboy, bring you on in 1 second here. Man, what a ridiculous day. How's Tesla doing? 900 on the nose. And that was where we stopped at. Let's pull my scanner. Look at what's making some big moves here in the past couple of minutes. Yeah. Any app-based company, right, is having a good day. Bumble, Match. That all comes back to what we talked about earlier with the Google Play Store news. They're going to take a smaller cut. What about on the downside? None of these names really look familiar to me. Nah. Hey, how's Bitcoin doing? We should probably do a crypto update real fast because it's been a minute since I've looked at crypto. So let's do a crypto update real fast, and then we'll get Cowboy on from Simba Bets. All right, we have our heat map here. That was a turn of events. Bitcoin in the red. ETH turned red. Everything basically turned red here. Hey, you can't always make new highs, right? Consolidation is a good thing. Consolidation is a good thing. Let's bring up Pro here for just a second, and then I'll get Cowboy on. You want to see these things take a breather. Where's my Pro? There it is. What was I looking at again? BTC. Let's go there. You want to see these things take a breather. I don't know why I'm so zoomed in. I'm also not on I'm on a laptop right now. This is very annoying. Very hard to do. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with that. That's weird. But anyway, consolidation's good. You like to see it. Same goes for everything, right? Bitcoin, ETH. All-time highs are fun, but they're short-lived. Consolidation pretends to longer-term trends. So I'm okay with this. As a reminder, get Bitcoin, free Bitcoin, $50 worth of Bitcoin to be specific, for free. Voyager app. Use the code ZING. Fund your account, make your first trade. ZING. They gave you some free Bitcoin. Okay, let's bring on Cowboy from Simba Bets. Cowboy. Oh, we just lost your camera. There we go. Nope.
There we are. What is happening?
Wait a minute. We lost your camera, man. I just had you. There we go.
Hey, what's happening, man?
I see you and I hear you. How are we doing today?
Not bad, not bad. What a great weekend we came off of with sports last week. You guys
I know,
that listened to the stream, you guys dominated with us.
I know. So for those who doesn't know, those of you who don't know, Cowboy, I suppose we can ask Cowboy about things like Bitcoin. I don't know if he owns any Bitcoin, but
yeah, I own Bitcoin. Yeah.
You own Bitcoin. Okay. We can talk about that, but we're gonna start doing some of these regular segments with Cowboy that are not really so much market focused, but more just like sports betting focused, right? That's basically what this is, gambling, right? And gambling is legal. So, we're going to talk about some sports betting, some setups for the weekend, and just take a few minutes and just take a breather from the markets because there are other ways out there to make money. So, maybe we should start by recapping the weekend, Cowboy, and what worked for you, what didn't.
Well, we absolutely demolished this weekend. Our NFL slate, I believe we went perfect on NFL. Thursday night slate, I gave you guys a 7-point teaser that scored. I gave you guys an anytime touchdown at plus 225 for Zach Ertz that scored, and Tom Brady's rushing yards over 0.5 scored. For Sunday, I gave you 3 teams that I liked. They all 3 won. They all 3 covered. You put them in a tease. I even gave you an underdog on the NFL with the Jacksonville. Said Jacksonville's going to get their first win, and they got that. Same thing with college. We absolutely dominated college. The only one I missed was Syracuse. I was a little bit off by that. They won the game, but they didn't cover. Gave you an underdog there too. UCLA went up to Washington and won that as well. So an absolutely fire weekend. The only thing that missed was our long shot in UFC, but I kind of gave a prefacer to that and said it was an awkward week. The card was a little – it wasn't the strongest card UFC put in. I still did my due diligence, but the passion just wasn't quite there for some. They gave us their D-listers, unfortunately, last weekend. So we took a flyer, broke a few rules, didn't hit. The guy did hit Jim Miller, had him up against it for a second, but couldn't quite finish him off. So hindsight's always 20/20, but that was the only thing that really missed. We absolutely smoked it though.
Hey, Cowboy, what platforms do you use? What apps do you use? You use all of them?
I use a lot of them. I encourage everyone, if you have a legal way to gamble in your state, whether it's BetMGM or DraftKings or FanDuel, if you have that at your disposal or you have an in-person casino, use that first and foremost. If not, offshore book that I prefer, Bovada. Bovada has been great for me. I've had no problems with them. I still use them every day. I do have legal gambling in my state as well. It's ran through our state. It's Oregon Lottery. And I use 90% of the time, but there are some lines that we just can't find. And so I've ventured to Bovada. My bookie's fine for moneyline bets, straight bets. They do lack a lot of extensive. They lack a lot of the specialty niche bets. So my bookie's fine. I've had success getting paid out by them. So that's where I would hang my hat. And those are the 2 that are offshore books that I would recommend.
And then as far as just like the legal stuff, you mentioned BetMGM. Do you have like a favorite, or you're just there for whatever has the best lines and the best and the best offers? So BetMGM, Barstool.
I think FanDuel's
FanDuel, Barstool. Mm-hmm. You like FanDuel?
FanDuel's the cleanest. Yeah, that's the cleanest one. They offer great odds. They're usually right. They usually have the best odds, or they're right there. And the customization that you're allowed to do within FanDuel, you can do same game parlays pretty easily. Okay. So it's FanDuel's. If you can use FanDuel, I would prefer that. That's not offered in my state, so I don't. But if it was, that would be where my 95% of my betting would go on.
Awesome. Because I think most people are probably like me in that Aaron Bree, welcome back. People like me, there is zero brand loyalty, right? It's like you go where the lines are, you go where the offers are, right?
Yeah,
Do you
absolutely.
would you agree with that sentiment? There's just like no brand loyalty.
No, you can only be as loyal. You can only be as loyal as your pockets.
Well, sure.
I think I kind of disagree, Spencer. I think I see some people that like love using Barstool Sportsbook or love using DraftKings. But I do think it's smart if you're a bettor to kind of hop around and see like, oh, who's having the hot promotion this week? Who's having the best? I think in general, Barstool Sportsbook actually doesn't do a lot of like great promotions, but they do have killer. Like they'll have lines that are boosted from 130 to 200 all the time. So if you can kind of jump around and find the best lines, a lot of times Barstool does have those good lines. But yeah, sorry, I'm hopping in, so I don't know what y'all have talked about. But if you missed our segment last week, Cowboy had some great picks. My favorite was probably the Zach Ertz anytime touchdown scorer, which he called for Thursday Night Football last week. And he even said on stream, this could even hit in the first quarter. And what do you know? Zach Ertz catches a touchdown in the first quarter.
Yeah, it was an early touchdown for the first half, actually. So they didn't really turn it up until the second half. But and then lo and behold, they go and pot him off to the Cardinals. Sell high,
Yeah, exactly.
And so they went and just shipped him off. But yeah, that was a long time coming. He's a legend over there in Philadelphia. It's too bad he's out of there, but he'll have success with the Cardinals. He'll be fine. He'll do just fine down there.
So have y'all gotten to any picks for this week yet?
Nothing yet. We haven't got there yet. We kind of did a little recap of last weekend. Very successful weekend. Looking forward to this weekend as well. We have a lot on the line this weekend. It's a big weekend in sports. Next weekend is going to be the biggest weekend in quite some time. UFC 267 is going, and then the week after that you have UFC 268. They're going back-to-back pay-per-views on us. So that next weekend we're all in. That's going to be the weekend of all weekends. Next 2 weekends. This weekend still a lot of action, but next weekend is what I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah. So again, if you missed last week's segment, Cowboy gave some background in his UFC betting. Cowboy said he's a pen and paper guy. He's got notes in his UFC Bible dating all the way back to, what is it, 2005?
2005, man. Yeah.
2005. So he's got almost 17, years worth of UFC notes in there. I'm a guy that I'll watch UFC if I'm with friends. Someone else buys the pay-per-view. I'm not like a huge fan or anything, but when I am watching it, if we are going to watch it, I love to throw a couple bets on it because it makes it a lot more fun to watch guys fighting when you have some money riding on it. Real quick, Shelly in the chat's asking, is the AB and Simba show still ongoing? Shelly, we had Brett on yesterday for a few minutes, but yeah, we are going to find a slot with Brett to come on and do some trades with us. In the morning. Brett's amazing. He was sending me screenshots today. He was killing it on the options trade. So we definitely got to get Brett on the stream more. But Cowboy, without further ado, what do you want to start with? Should we talk about Thursday Night Football tonight?
Yeah, let's go straight to Thursday Night Football, man. This thing is oh boy. What an ugly thing that happened. I had 3 plays I absolutely loved on this. I loved Baker Mayfield to get an anytime touchdown. And not anymore. No, I loved the Browns money line in a must-win situation. They had more time on the field. Not anymore. And then the other play I liked was over 3.5 sacks. That I can't find anymore. I can't offer that anymore. So I have done some digging and I have found the key to tonight's game. Only 2 times this year on Thursday Night Football has a team crossed 30 points. And that was Tampa Bay in week 1 and Washington in week 2. So tonight, neither team to score 30 points is going to be my official pick. You can get that at -195. I love that line. I don't see either one of these teams. Both of them are depleted on offense, especially the Browns. I mean, they're missing their 2 best running backs. They're missing Baker. They're missing multiple offensive linemen. The Browns are not looking good, but I don't have the gall to bet against them because they are in a must-win situation or that division is going to slip out. I see this as a big defensive battle. While the Browns' defense has been lacking, the Broncos' offense isn't significant enough to reach that 30-point mark. So tonight's bet is the one that I like, and I'm locking it in. I've already locked it in at -190, is neither team to score 30 points. I don't see it happening. The only 2 teams that did it on Thursday Night Football so far are the Bucs and the Redskins, and they both have prolific offenses, which is awkward because the Redskins are supposed to be a defensive-based team. But that's the play that I'm on tonight. I also like player prop, Noah Fant over 3.5 receptions. The Broncos, you can pass. Sorry, not the Broncos. The Browns, you can pass on them. They don't give up a lot of passing touchdowns, but they do give up a lot of passing yardage. Something, they're number 6th in passing yardage against. A lot of that's inflated from Justin Herbert, but if you still look game by game, they're still very consistently, and they let a lot of passes underneath. So Noah Fant over 3.5 receptions, minus 160 is not the greatest of odds, but it's the right price, and that's right. That should be set at 5.5. I think they slipped up there with the anticipation of there not being a lot of scoring. And then the final prop that I like tonight is either team to get a defensive touchdown, plus 250. Either team to get a defensive touchdown.
I like that one.
It's already moved. Yeah, either team to get a defensive touchdown, plus 250. You can get each individually at plus 500 if you're so inclined. And just take them both. Either team to get defense touchdown, plus 250, plus 225, depending on your book. But that is those are the 3 plays for tonight. The one that I'm absolutely loving is neither team to get to 30 points.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing here. It looks like the Fant receptions got bumped up to 4. Over is minus 145. But yeah, I like Noah Fant. I think he's a great player. And no matter who's playing quarterback for the Broncos, whether it's Bridgewater or Locke, they like throwing to the tight ends. Let me try to. I can't seem to find on Bovada the neither team to score 30.
It'll be down lower. It'll be race to 30, and it'll be neither.
All right, let me.
And if you want better odds, right there, it's gonna be down 2 more. Race to 25 if you want better odds. See, that's moving.
Oh, wow.
That's moving. Yeah. Race to 25 is fine too, guys. I think this is going to be a 17-14 game. I don't foresee it being. If you want to even protect yourself a little bit more, go ahead and take the under altogether. I'm a little timid on the 41. That's not a lot of points in the NFL. So if you want to buy an extra field goal or so to increase your chances of winning, go for that. But 41 is that's not a lot of points in the NFL. So.
Yeah, I wonder if what the odds would be if we did a either Broncos or Browns, because I think it can go either way, but then tease it with the under. Sorry, I clicked over. I meant under.
130.
That could.
Mm-hmm. I looked at that as well. I liked it when the Broncos were getting 9.5 2 days ago, but obviously that line's moved significantly. I like that a lot. The under there solid. Under 46.5 should cash for you. The Broncos, the only problem I can see with the Broncos and why they would lose by a touchdown or more is the Browns can still run the football. They are still a running team, and they control the clock. And if the Broncos, Teddy Two Gloves is supposed to start, but if something funny happens, Locke is just he's not quite an NFL quarterback. That's why they brought Teddy Two Gloves in.
Remember, Locke went to Mizzou, so we can't say anything too mean about him.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I mean, is to you, does that make sense? Is Baker worth 7.5 points on the spread, having him out?
He's not. It's more the offensive line and the running game that I'm concerned about. I'm not a big Baker guy. I think Baker's is a good quarterback. He is the definition of a B quarterback in the NFL. The Browns had an opportunity to trade him 2 years ago. I think every day they sit here and go, we probably should have done that. That was probably the right move to get rid of him, because now you're going to pay him godly money for a guy that is just he's a little bit better than average. If you look at his numbers, though, I mean, he's the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. He throws at least 1 or 2 interceptions a game. He doesn't take over the game with his arm. I fail to see the big drop off. Keenum's a great backup. I don't think that's the miss. I think the miss is the offensive line and the running game.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there. I think Baker's like competent enough. I don't think he's first pick overall worthy like he was. I think he, can win some games, but I don't know. I thought they should have taken Saquon in that draft. I thought that would have been a great offense with Tyrod Taylor, Saquon, Landry, Beckham, that offensive line. I thought Saquon could just run behind that for days. But all right, let's move on from Thursday night football. What else is on the docket?
For the rest of the NFL this weekend, there's a couple other plays that I like. I think the safest plays this weekend is a 7-point teaser with the Patriots and the Packers. We can get the Packers to win at home against the football team by a field goal. That is safe money. And then the Patriots are hosting the Jets. I typically don't bet on teams that I'm a fan of. I am a New York Jets fan. I typically don't bet on those games, but this is just too good. This is just too good at this point. New York's inept at this point. They're not. Their offense is terrible. Their defense is so-so. Mosley's been playing very well. But I think New England had a letdown game against the Texans, like we were talking last week. It was a hangover game from the Brady. I think New England is actually a decent football team. Their record is indicative of who they are. They've had a very tough schedule, and they're actually a good football team. And so for them to only be favored by 7 against who I consider to be one of the 3 worst teams in the league, that's great. And we can tease that down. We can take a 7-point tease on both those guys, and that's basically just the money line. And that's my heaviest bet of the weekend. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, so we do the 2-team teaser with Packers, Patriots. You get the Packers -2, Patriots -1. That ends up being -120. I like that too. I think at home, both the Patriots and Packers play well at home. I'd be shocked if we don't see the Packers, cover this 2-point spread against the Reds or against the Washington football team. Real quick before we get going to the next picks, yes, we do see DWAC halted again at 30, right around $34.
Wow.
So that's been the big stock market story of the day. I don't know if you've been following that, Cowboy.
Yeah, I follow the stock market as well. I sit here and look at that. That's I have no idea. This halting of the market, this volatility has just been. I'm a bit older, so I remember the slow days where you got. The market would move 0.2%. You'd go, wow, that's great movement. And now, I mean, we're in a different world today. We are definitely in a different world, and you can thank the internet for that.
We're at 33.94 and we're halted. This is ridiculous. I don't even know what to say at this point.
What's it move? What's the total move on it today?
If you're going from the close, it's going to be up to it's a 240% gainer. But if you bought it, it's actually more than that. If you bought it at 7:15 this morning, so just man, ridiculous.
So Cowboy, we were talking about some different picks. You've got an interesting NBA pick for tonight.
Yeah, NBA has been absolutely incredible. We swept again last night. So we've been just hot as wildfire. We're looking at the Mavs and Hawks game tonight. I got 2 plays on this actually that I really like. I found another one. So the one that I like initially is, little do they know, the Mavericks were the 3rd best first half team, but the 17th worst first quarter team. And the Hawks were the 3rd best first quarter team last year. So we can get the Hawks money line right here, or play -1 either way for -130 for the first quarter. I like that. I think the Hawks are a complete team. I love what they're doing. They made Nate McMillan their official head coach. He's defensive minded. I love that money line for the first quarter. I think the Hawks are going to be up 3, 4, 5 points at the end of the first quarter. Mavericks will close the gap in the second quarter. Their bench unit is very strong. They'll close that gap. But the Hawks starting 5 and including their 7-man rotation, that's going to give them a great edge in that first quarter. So I do like that play first quarter. The play I like even more, though, after doing a little more digging, and you can already see the movement on it, is the under for the entire game. Both teams finished top 10 defensively last year. Everyone thinks Hawks, Trae Young, run and gun, all the 3-point shooters. It's contrary to that. They actually were number 11th. They were tied for 10th for team defensive scored last year. And the Mavericks were 8th. Now, they let Rick Carlisle go, but Jason Kidd brings a very similar mindset, defense first, contrary to what people think with him being an offensive guru when he played. So that right there at 225 is fine. I'm buying 5 points for -175 and playing it at 230.5. I really like that. Defenses tend to be a little bit more ahead of the offense this early in the season as well, as players get their legs back. So that right there is actually my favorite play, but I also do love that first quarter Atlanta Hawks money line at home. The Hawks are real. They're real. That Eastern Conference Finals last year wasn't a fluke. They're a real team.
Yeah, I mean they were right there. They were so close. I think that puts a little fire under Trae Young and the rest of the team, saying, "Hey, look, we got this close to the NBA Finals. We got to come back and do it again." And on the under, I've seen a lot of people talking about how the NBA has switched the balls this year. So they're playing with a different ball. A lot of people have been kind of, saying, oh, we should bet the under because there's a different ball. Maybe they're not used to shooting that ball as well as the ball they were using the year before. So I like that. I'm going to tail that tonight, hit the under, hit the first quarter, and ride with that.
Yeah, that's probably the best play tonight. I know Brett's going to Miami game tonight, so I built him out a super degen parlay. Brett's a sucker for the parlays, so I built him a super degen. I'm going to post that in our Discord, our server. you can go ahead and follow us on Instagram and get that free play tonight. It's too long to discuss over air. There's like 6 different players. It's a plus 600 odd parlay. So we do have something for the Miami game as well tonight. It's D-Ginny, so don't expect it to hit, but when it does, just remember where you heard it from, and drinks will be on us tonight.
Got it. All right, so moving on from NBA, let's see, we've got some NCAA football picks, and then after that we'll get into UFC.
Yeah, NCAA last week, it was great. We gave you guys the UCLA went to Washington and smacked them in the face, just like I predicted. I don't know why they were 2-point dogs. This weekend, we're going to keep it very simple. We have Notre Dame hosting USC. Notre Dame that line is now moved to 6.5 points. The public is hammering UFC, and I have no idea why. I have a tendency to believe it's the Los Angeles population. USC is just there for whatever reason. They get this amazing talent, and they just can't produce on the field. They're 3-3. I haven't seen any significant wins. Notre Dame always plays one of the toughest schedules every year. They're 5-1. They've held up. I'm going to tease that. I'm going to take that to the money line and tease that. I love that. The fact that I can get Notre Dame at home to win a game against the rival USC in a teaser, that's great. And I'm going to tease them with Ohio State. Ohio State's playing Indiana. Indiana was ranked preseason, just right above you there, actually. Yeah, right there. Indiana was ranked preseason. I'm going to do 7-point tease on this one. Indiana was ranked preseason, high expectations. Penix got hurt. Penix Jr. got hurt. He had a separated shoulder. He re-injured it. So now they brought in Tuttle, who's been in Indiana for 3 years, never been anything special, always been a backup quarterback. And now they're considering burning a red shirt for another quarterback, a McCauley, who's 6'5", 200 pounds, more of a rushing quarterback. They want to give it that 1-2 look. In college football, very rarely does the quarterback shifting work. You find a horse, you stick with it, you go with it. Indiana's playing musical chairs with quarterbacks. And Ohio State's defense is too fast for that. They're too good. They're too fast. They slipped up against Oregon at the beginning of the year. They didn't look impressive in the first half against Minnesota early, but since then Ohio State's been back. That defense is too good. Indiana's carousel of quarterbacks. They might even get shut out this weekend. They got shut out 2 weekends ago against Penn State. I think Indiana's in a world of hurt. So Ohio State by 14 on that 7-point teaser, minus 125. That's my college play. I love that. I absolutely love that. I think that's as clean as we can get this weekend for college football.
Yeah, I like that. Ohio State, they're in a position at number 5 right now where they're saying, hey, if we just put our head down and keep winning, maybe one of these 4 teams ahead of us will lose. Of course, Michigan's in that discussion too, if Michigan can win out. Real quick, everyone in the chat still talking about DWAC. We will get back to DWAC. We've got, let's just get through these UFC picks. So this is the moneymaker for Cowboy. Mr. Cowboy, UFC, that's the bread and butter. What do we like in UFC?
UFC this weekend. Real quick, there's a pick next weekend I want to get in right now. It is Peter Yan's money line parlayed with Jan Blachowicz or Jan Wakovic. That's next weekend. I want to get people to lock that in right now. Parlay those 2 money lines right now, right there, minus 275 for Jan Wakovic, and then Peter Yan. Parlay those. That'll be dang near even money. That's going to be a max play for me. Both those guys are going to come back with their belts. The fight's going to be at Fight Island in Abu Dhabi. They're both foreigners fighting Americans. Well, Glover Teixeira's fights out of America. He's from Brazil. That they're both going to win. That's a great parlay. That's a fantastic parlay. Lock that in now.
Which is the other one? You got Jan Blachowicz.
Jan Wakovic, and then Peter Yan money line. Lock that in right now. That right there is as safe as we're going to get. I love that play. That's a max play for me.
Let's see what that parlay. Oh, it goes
even
down
money.
to minus 110. Yeah, even money.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Lock that in right now. That they're both coming back with their titles. Practically a quote unquote home fight for them, being in Abu Dhabi. Short flights for both of them. They both train out of the U.S. Teixeira and Sandhagen both train in the U.S. So love that. I love that. But this weekend, we have a couple things that I like. This weekend alone is we have Paulo Costa versus Vettori. There's a lot of problems going on. Paulo Costa tweeted that he's walking around at 211. He's not going to be able to make the 185 by Friday. I don't know what happened to him. When he lost to Adesanya, he's just kind of gone off his deep end, kind of got off his rocker. I like the over 1.5, but now that has moved significantly up. So we're going to take over 2.5, over 2.5 rounds. Vettori's going to control that fight. They're going to fight at a catch weight, 195 instead of the 185, just because Paulo Costa can't make weight. So let's take that over 2.5 rounds. I think it could even go to decision right there, minus 165. I like that one a lot. That's my favorite play for the weekend. The two other plays that I like this weekend are Grant Dawson inside the distance. I think Grant Dawson is 17-1 in UFC. He's fighting Ricky Glenn. Ricky Glenn has only been submitted twice, but Grant Dawson is just too long for him. Grant Dawson stands at 5'10" in the 156 range, and his arms at 72 inches are the third longest set of arms in the 156 range. And he is 17-1 with 11 submissions. He's going to end up making Ricky Glenn tap. So I like that right there at plus 130. That's pretty
so
much
this is essentially saying he's going to win the fight, not by decision.
Correct. Anyway. TKO,
submission, knockout,
Mhm.
DQ, anything. Got it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
And I was just going to say real quick, last week, I know Eric Gonzalez ended up winning, but you also did say if Jim Miller was going to win the fight, it'd be by knockout. So that ended up hitting. So if you hedged the Gonzalez bet with Jim Miller by knockout, then you probably ended up.
Yeah, I broke my, and I told you I broke my, usually the young kid coming up, I usually fade bet against. I broke my own rules there. It's fine. I mean, it was a long shot for a reason. He was plus 185 for a reason. He had Jim Miller rocked for a second. He doesn't know how to finish a guy yet. That's fine. He'll be better. He'll be back. He'll be fine. It was a long shot for a reason. I'm not disgruntled with it. We're here for a marathon, not a sprint. Jim Miller did win by KO, which is what I said as your hedge. So if you took the hedge, you should have walked out even from that fight. And the last fight I like this weekend is from UFC 260. Jeff Molina had fight of the night. If you guys get a chance, go on your ESPN Plus accounts, watch his last fight. Jeff Molina, he fought. He was fighting Akari Quiling from China, and it was just an amazing fight. He almost got knocked out in the last 30 seconds. This kid is a star. He's a star in UFC. He's 24. He's up and coming. He's moving up the ranks. He's a complete star, and he's this weekend. He is looking at fighting Daniel Lacerda, who is a no-namer coming up from Brazil. He does train with Alex Cowboy Oliveira, so there is a little concern there. But Jeff Molina at minus 170, lock that thing in, take your money and run. He might even finish the guy, but just take the money line. Just be safe, take the money line. That's my second favorite play of the UFC. So those are the three things I like on UFC this weekend.
Beautiful. All right, y'all. Well, we will get these bets placed in the description if you want to go ahead and follow along with Cowboys picks. Last week ended up being a good weekend, so looking forward to tracking these bets this weekend, Cowboy. Thank you for coming on. And if anyone wants to follow up, you can find Simba_bets on Instagram, and you can also go to simbabets.io.
Yes. Also, Squid Games. Brett running Squid Games. What I mean to mention Squid Games. If you guys are in the stocks, look at Brett's stocks. He's running a 50% discount. Mention Squid Games to Brett right now. You can hit us up. So had to give him a plug on that one. And
yeah, I got to hand it to Brett. He's been making me jealous all day with his Robinhood screenshots. He did a $10,000 challenge where he started an account with $10,000 in it last week. He started this account last week with $10,000. It's up to $150,000. Just some crazy picks by Brett. He knows what he's doing. It's to the point where I'm like, all right, yep, you've got me. I don't have time to sit around all day and analyze stocks like he does and make these crazy options trades, but he's a monster. So we're going to get him back on the stream as well.
Let him do it for you. And I'll ask for forgiveness and not permission. If you mention Squid Games to us and our DMs, we'll give you 50% off Simba bets too for your first month. So he didn't give me permission. Like I said, I'll ask for forgiveness, not permission. So
yeah, if he gives you trouble, send him my way, and we'll get it figured out. But yeah, mention Squid Games for a 50% off discount on either Simba bets or Simba stocks. Thank you, Cowboy, for coming on. We'll get you back on next Thursday.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Take care. Good luck.
All right, y'all. That was Cowboy from Simba Bets. You might know Brett Simba from Simba Stocks. We've got some good picks coming out. So if you want to tail along with us Thursday Night Football tonight, UFC this weekend. I see a guy hanging out that I don't really recognize. Not Spencer. I recognize him.
Wait, this is going to be good.
Wait, all right. Let's hold on.
Wait, what just happened?
Really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want.
AB, what are you doing?
So tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I don't have control anymore. I lost all control.
Wait, we don't care about the chart.
I wanna really, really, really wanna zig.
Should we go full screen on Neal?
I tried. He quickly diverted attention.
You guys ready for this? We're bringing Neal on. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Oh yeah. Wait, no, not me. Hold on. Yeah. Messing with my thing. Look at that, dude. What is he doing? He's just messing. He's messing with us. He doesn't want to be on camera.
Crypto Morning Show said RIP monetization. Little do you know, this is off of T-Pain's royalty-free playlist. So I think we're good.
Wait, Neal. Look at that. What just happened? Shelly, is she okay? Hello, sir.
What's up, Zinger Nation? What's up, Spencer? What's up, Aaron?
I have so many questions.
I don't think he got his hair
about
cut.
what?
I don't think he got a haircut. I think he just dyed the tips invisible.
Yeah, you didn't know they could do that?
Wow.
What's up, Antonio? What's up, Shay? Born to be free. Amirazine needs more Addy. Okay. Might want to talk to your medical health professional about that, my friend. Shelly, hello. Yeah, I finished Squid Game and I went into the barber and I said, give me that futures trader cut. And the barber was like, say no more, fam.
When was your last haircut, Neal?
I loved that scene in Squid Game. The guy's like, it wasn't just stocks, it was futures too. And at least like the dub version, my friend was like, what is futures? And I was like, it's like essentially betting on like the future. I didn't have a good way of explaining
commodities.
No, wait, Neal, when was your last haircut?
I don't know. Probably beginning of 2020.
Wow. I'm a little bit sad. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, well, so what? Get over it.
My only question is why right after the conference?
I don't know.
All right. Wait. Okay. Neal, are you watching DWAC? Yes, he is.
Oh,
Great.
they finally have PIP for the charts. This is great.
Wait, whoa! I've never seen this view before on our.
Are you guys are the producers? I come in here and I just shake up the game like this. What's up, Shay?
Wait. How did you do that?
Every time, Shay. That's the answer.
Wait,
Spencer's mind blown right now.
Wait. What? How did Neal just do that?
Do you want me to write instructions for how to do your job?
I
in
might
a Google Doc.
I might need a Google Doc on how to do my job.
Yeah. What's up, everyone? Yes, I'm looking at Dwac. Is that what we're calling it? What are we calling it? How are we saying it?
Dwac.
We're saying Dwac. I like Dwac infinitely more. Things ripping. You really can't draw any detailed conclusions. Yeah. You can't really draw any detailed conclusions without a 5-minute or lower increment on your chart.
Oh, I got it. I figured it out. Okay, cool.
All right, well, Spencer, now can you put it in a Google Doc for me, please?
Holding small size to infinity. I don't know what that means, Daniel F., but whatever makes you feel better. Yeah, I'm switching brokerages right now. I picked the worst time. I'm switching brokerages. I just went through 2 brokerages over the past couple weeks, and now I'm waiting for my cash to settle. I just had opened like a bunch of my positions, and I have very little remaining cash for fun stuff like this. But,
wait, tell us who you're switching from and to.
I don't think it's good to share that kind of stuff because we're sort of arbiters of that.
Okay.
I'm just trying different stuff. I can say that I had an account that I opened in 2020 and it's just been sitting there, and I went and checked it and it was up like 190%. And I just haven't been looking at it. So yeah, I'm in that particular broker right now. So I don't know, guys. Tell me what tickers you guys want to talk about. We can do some technical analysis. Not much to do with Dwac. This thing's just running. A trend does not end until it ends. So if you want to grab some Dwac and ride it on this 5-minute chart, ain't nothing wrong with that. While the last that Cowboy guy was on, I drew a little ascending triangle here, and we already hit our price targets on that. You can see that the price target is, we got a pattern that we could actually use, and it's exactly where this gap closed, which is the height or the swing high to the swing low of this ascending triangle. Now we're just ripping. We're in Rip Town. So ain't nothing wrong with grabbing it on the way up and just keeping that stop tight. So there you go. Yeah, I'm sure the volume is just absolutely insane. But yeah, happy to look at other tickers. Happy to look at whatever you guys want.
Juan wants you to check out NVIDIA, ticker NVDA.
Say no more.
Say less, bro.
Well, actually, say more. I need a time frame. Are we looking at swing trading? Swing trading, investing, little daytime action.
Neal, you should have gone with the Island Boy haircut.
What's the Island Boy?
Have you not seen that video?
I did the Island Boy.
You gotta watch
Chesney?
Yeah, watch this video right there.
No, I saw this on Twitter.
Did you listen to the song though?
Is it appropriate to have on here?
Yeah, why not? It's not like.
Cause I'm an island boy and I've been trying to make. Oh, I'm an island boy. I'm a just island boy. I'm a just island boy. I'm gonna get you white wine. You're gonna keep that gun. I'll be just staring at the sun. I'm just out full gazing. I'm like, pull where I'm staying. They're like, you wanna be famous? I'm trying to be out the greatest. I'm like,
all right, I've seen enough.
They probably made like $100 or $1 million combined trading options on Robinhood this year.
What?
To pay for all those tattoos?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that amount of tattoos is expensive. Tattoos are expensive. Yeah, I'm not sure what to take away from that. I think we could just leave that as it is.
I think
why taint the purity of that video?
Next haircut, Island Boy. We'll get them together.
Okay. Well, I should have texted you before I went. I really should have. I just asked my friend, who's a woman. I said, "Hey, should I cut my hair?" And she just said, "Yes." Period.
Yeah, that's pretty high conviction.
Yeah, it's like, all right, fine. And then I went in there with that Squid Game.
DWAC just opened.
DWAC. So we can look at it, but again, guys, what I said still stands. Wow, look at that! It's insane. Still stands. With no discernible pattern, you got this thing just ripping, and there's actually no discernible moving average, simple or exponential that can guide you. Tight stop loss, let it rip. If I had my money settled in my brokerage, I'd be in here with you guys. I don't care what it is or what it does, as long as it moves up and down, I'm going to trade it and make money on it. Or I'm going to try my best. And then I'm going to screen cap it and rub it in producer AB's face, which I don't do enough of. I need to start screen capping my trades and sending them to you after I already have done them.
I did my first call debit spread yesterday, and I'm kind of in love with it.
Wow. That's very sophisticated.
I know. I don't really know.
Do you feel like really a sir?
What?
Do you feel like a sir?
Like people Mr. to you.
Like a mister? You feel like a mister? Okay. Okay, we are hitting some resistance here on Dwac.
At 45. Who would have thought on Trump's spec?
Yeah. So what do you do here? Start drawing your line, looking for where that breakout might be. That resistance, and we'll see. I mean, this is a 1-minute chart. It's wild. I'm not willing to go any lower, and I don't even know if I can for my increments. But that could be a little entry. Support's going to be, of course, at the opening of the previous green candle at $42.08, something like that. But this is looking like, oh, there you go. you got a momentary little flag breaking out. Okay, so we can sit here and watch this all day. Let me get back to NVIDIA. What time frame was it for NVIDIA? Was it swing? Swing trading? NVIDIA? Investing? I'm going to start off with monthly. So you have a flag, not terribly unlike what we just saw on a 1 minute chart for Dwac. Got this level we just haven't been able to get through, which is $226 on the monthly. Because a bunch of people bought it here and then they lost their money. And so they're just trying to break even at that level. Now we want to know if there's going to be enough buyers to say, hey, this is going to go higher. I believe in it. I want to buy it at that price now. So let me set up this template. That's our breakout resistance line on the monthly. And we set our price target based on the swing high to the swing low. And we add that to our breakout resistance. And we say that our PT or price target is about $264 for NVIDIA. It's not too bad from coming from 225. This is just a monthly analysis, but we'll get a little more detailed by going down to weekly and then down to daily. So we'll say this is, let me move this shit. There we go. Price target. Bada boom, bada bing. There you go. Price target right there. Let's get down to the weekly now. Ooh, and look, we've got this nice little sandwich pattern. What's a sandwich pattern? I don't know. I was talking to Julia Cordova one time, and she calls this a sandwich. It's an N for Neal Hamilton, which is nice, which is really nice. Really, you can just look at this like this thing was kind of had a corrected phase. You can call it flagging, call it whatever you want, and it's reversed on the weekly. Still treating this line as the breakout resistance because those are levels that I drew from the monthly. So there are more sessions that have lined up with that. And then let me go down to daily, take a look at, oh yeah, this is really nice. All right, so we're actually bouncing in between these. Now I'm going to feel better about raising this up just a little bit. So NVIDIA, I'd say entry. Your entry price is about $230. A solid candle break above $230. You should target about $265. Bullish. You're all talking about Dwac. CHPT swing.
Boons, baby.
Charge point. Monthly. Good gravy. Get rid of everything that I've ever drawn here. So, looking at just the monthly here, this guy right here was a clear reversal, right? You guys know that when you get a big old red candle that engulfs the size of the previous candle, that it's likely that a downtrend is going to come after that. That's what happened. We went down. Then the question is, well, where's the bottom? Where does that downtrend end? We're looking at the monthly now, and it looks like we may have found something like it. I'm going to use a rectangle here to actually identify a zone of demand, meaning this is where buyers are like, I like it at that price. I'll buy it at that price because I expect it to go higher. So you've got your sort of support zone here between 17.5 and about $20 on the monthly. Now let's start looking at this area. Start looking at this area right here. Good Lord, this area right here to see if we can identify a clear reversal pattern and some entry levels, set price targets, and set stop loss levels for an actual trade. Go down to the weekly. Already really liking what I see on the weekly. Why? Because we got a V-shaped reversal. V-shaped reversal is kind of, whoops, not that one. V-shaped reversal looks like kind of a straight up trend like this, and then usually a wick that goes down like that, which we got right here. Here's our nice wick. That's like a T, and we go up, we get a little bit of a shelving unit, go up, and there's usually another shelving unit. And you can see that we've got our first kind of shelf here. And then it looks like we're hitting some resistance here, which is previous support on this current week's candle. It's likely that we'll get stuck here for just a period of time. Let's get down to the daily and see if we can get some more detail. But what I will say is this is looking like a reversal. And those of you that have already drawn your trend lines here, you can see that this short-term downtrend, we've broken out of it already. All right. So I can take this line and just say that's just our breakout resistance. We're downtrend. We can't break out of that sloping line of resistance. Higher. We're not doing it. And we've now broken out of it on the weekly. Weekly CHPT looking good, has broken out of that short-term downward trend. And then here, remember my drawing with the sloping line like this, and then the shelf and the shelf. Now you can more clearly see the shelves on that V-shaped reversal pattern. So we do have a V-shaped reversal. We have broken above this previous area of resistance. So if we hold this on the daily, I'm feeling pretty good about an entry targeting these upcoming levels. Yes, it's getting a little bit overbought, but my RSI is set to 10 days. It's a little more sensitive, but price supersedes RSI in this situation. So what are my targets? So I got a target price here, and we got a target price right here, just based on previous levels. So we say this is entry, is now, or like at the end of the day, as long as the candle is still closing above it. And then target price number 1, target price number 2, just like that. And then stop loss would be a breakdown in our support. So from where we are right now, I would say, yeah, if we're closing this gap back down, you could set your stop loss. One could set their stop loss right about here. That's a CHPT trade idea. As simple as that. You can get a lot more detail with it, though. If I go down to like 4 hour, maybe let's go down to the hourly and just see what it's looking like. Yeah, it's looking like it's setting up for an entry here. We got this little pullback right here. This little corrective phase. That's an entry. But you want to do it, as always, upon a breakout from your sloping line that you're going to draw on that. This is the 1 hour on CHPT. So it just depends on how active you want to be. Are you swing trading? Are you day trading? Neal in the house. Mark Zuckerberg. What are you going to do about it, Mark Zuckerberg? SoFi. So SoFi on the daily chart. So SoFi is a really strong technical stock, meaning it's just following the rules. SoFi rules. It's awesome. So we've got this rounding bottom. We hit our price target on this. So I'm taking the bottom measured up to, I guess we can use this as the neckline. If we use this as the neckline, which it in the past, we hit that price target almost exactly. So we're kind of going through the second leg of this. Let me go and look at a weekly just so I can get a better idea of this accumulation. Yeah, you can see. Okay, so we had a rounding bottom. We were accumulating shares. Large institutions, large investors were trying to get as many shares as possible without disrupting the price, so they distribute their purchases over time. That's the accumulation phase, and that's what precedes a markup phase, which is when the stock goes up on a run. And you can see that we're in the first leg of that run following this accumulative cycle. So looking good. And we've hit the price target that I set in the past. Now we're going to base this accumulation on the broader thing that's going on here, which is the previous all-time high. So let's go to a monthly, look at it that way. Get out the old Fibonacci, go to that all-time high, and then go down to the low. Now look at that. Can you guys see that? My target price is in the way, but the 50% area on the Fibonacci is right about at our target price on the monthly. 618 is a bit higher. This can be adjusted, but it's largely accurate. Now let's start digging down into shorter time frames. We can go down to the daily as was requested. And start really using that Fibonacci line. And you can see that Fibonacci line is exactly where our resistance is right now. And what I can say about this candle, this inverted hammer right here, that's a bearish candle. It usually is assigned to investors and traders that the ensuing candle is going to be down. It might be at the beginning of a very short-term downward trend. So buying now, you might lose a little bit. You keep that stop loss loose enough. You could stay within that range. But overall, what we're looking for is resolution of this right here. This low measured up to this next neckline. So about $28. So you can target about $28 coming out of this, which is going to get you to the previous all-time high. Yeah. SoFi is looking good. To set it up for a trade, let me delete all of my drawings. Look at how this is just accumulation, guys. To set this up for a trade, you just want to look at previous levels. Let's use the weekly really quick here. I want the Fibonacci. There we go. Lines up perfect. You can say entry is going to be a solid break above its current level. So about $21, yeah. First target, $22.67. And this is for scaling in and out. Like you can get to the first target, sell off 25% of your position, see what happens, go to the next target, sell off 50%, scale in, scale out. And then let's see how detailed we can get with this. Maybe you want to go down lower. I want to see another level that was hit frequently. Yeah, so you can look at these levels. These are going to be areas of resistance. These are follow-up targets where you're scaling in, scaling out. Just watching your previous levels for resistance. I think this is going to be the major one. With the ultimate target of a gain of, if you were to enter now, gain about 35% back up to the all-time high on SoFi. And I got no problem at all, in case you're wondering, and you can see this already, with calling out this double bottom. Boom. Boom. With the neckline right here at the 618. We got patterns within patterns, and they tend to resolve either way. Yeah, and that just gets us back to that all-time high. So here you go. That's SoFi. That's the trade, the ultimate target price. All right. Cheer. Whoops. Yeah, SoFi does. So SoFi it do be like that solar up. Okay, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up? What's up? Any other tickers in the chat besides Dwac?
Look, see it broke out of that. Oh no, we watched the breakout together. And then we get a little bit of a rounding formation at the top. But this thing is not following the laws of nature right now.
Roblox.
Roblox, easy, Mike. Let's see. What is RBLX? What is it Alt R? All right, I haven't looked at Roblox in a long time. Demand zone. Whoops. Right there. Basically, the body's down to the wicks. Now we're looking for a reversal of this downtrend. So you can see we have this all-time high of 103 and some change, and then we have a downtrend. So let's get more detailed with the weekly. See if we can get a line going across that. Maybe daily. Yeah, largely it actually goes into a sideways channel. So we've got the downtrend here, and then a kind of disappointing breakout. And then we're trading in the sideways channel. So let's see how many times we've hit it. 1, 2, 3. 3 times we've hit this, so that qualifies. Roblox looks like a day trader's dream. Day trader's dream. All right. You've got your 2 levels here. Trade in between them. Amazon did this for a while too. This is for trading, not for investing and holding, in my humble opinion. I would not be looking to do anything longer term or like overnight, if you will, or for multiple overnights until we get a break above $90, $91, whatever. That's going to be the breakout from this period of consolidation. But while it's consolidating and trading sideways, when it hits $90, 91 cents, when it hits $91, and you start to get the sign of that reversal, you know your patterns. So you're looking at that 4 hour, you're looking at that 1 hour, you're looking for indications of a reversal to the downside. You take that short position, you buy those puts. When the same thing happens here on the 1 hour, we get to this bottom, we get to this $70 and some change. We got this double bottom right here. You're buying your calls, or if you're scalping with commons, you're getting a pretty damn big position, and just trading it like that. Square. SQ, how much time do we have? We're at time, I think.
We can do Square real quick, but this will be the last one.
All right. Oh, what? Oh, my graphics card. A little bit of a failed breakout in the past. Let's take a look. All right, so we're on monthly right now. Yep. Yeah, so Square long-term break above 292. is a breakout, and you can get pretty aggressive with your price target for the long term. So this is the long term price target. Or intermediate term, whatever you want to call it. Another $100. All right. And then shorter term. We have broken out of a downward trend. We got a nice reversal pattern here, nice ascending triangle. I'm not going to draw it up, but we are out of it. And then with this short-term trend, looking at here, let me change that up. Looking at levels within this big ascending triangle that I just drew, we can set some price targets. I would say you can be pretty convicted about an entry. Like if you're in it right now, good for you. We're coming up on resistance, but if we break out of that resistance at 264, you've got some levels coming up for price targets that will also be resistance. Scale in, scale out. And then, of course, the big one coming up, which is right above it. So I'm giving you shorter term swing trade, set the stop loss to your appetite, as well as longer term, which is upon a break above that 292, get up to 392. All right, guys, it's been fun. What's up next, Aaron?
We actually have two streams starting right now at 2. We have the Roadmap, which is Benzinga's very own NFT show, an exciting interview coming up there on the Roadmap. We also have a live stream from MJ Biz. So if you're a cannabis investor, we got our boy Aaron Thomas and Patrick Lane out there in Las Vegas for MJ Biz. This stream will automatically redirect you to the MJ Biz. I did post the link for the Roadmap if you're more interested in NFTs than you are cannabis. So go check out whichever one that more, tickles you fancy. And with that, everyone smash the like for a fresh cut Neal Hamilton.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thanks for having me on, producer AB.
Of course. Anytime.
Bye, everyone.
That was Neal with a brand new haircut. Signing off now, producer AB. Stick around. Like I said, this stream will automatically redirect you to the MJ Biz stream, or you can go check out the Roadmap. Link is in the chat. I'll post it one more time. Other than that, been fun hanging out with y'all today. Please smash the like and subscribe if you have not already, and we will be back tomorrow.